Hi there, and welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today is going to be part 24 of my LP collection. I think we're going to be able to wrap it up today. It'll just be like my 45s in 24 episodes, which if I can get it finished is not too bad. I think we finished last time in part 23 all the way up to 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And so we're going to jump right into things with 2019. And the first thing that I have in that collection is my Sheryl Crow Threads album. And the reason I have that, obviously, it features the song with Stevie. Pretty prominent right there. The song is Prove You Wrong. It's actually Stevie Nicks and Maren Morris. Inside is a nice little photo of Stevie, Maren, and Sheryl. You can see it. It's all over the place. Sorry about that. And then not much more on the inside. There is a sleeve with lyrics. No more photos of Stevie, just the lyric part. This is not one I would have sought out. I mean, that's the label and everything. I did find it on a pretty good deal. It had just come out, which is kind of weird. So, of course, I did pick it up. I am glad I have it now in hindsight, just because I just don't see it around too often. And I think right now it's still the only place you can get it. I don't think it's been on anything else since then. I could be wrong. But yeah, 2-record set, purchased really because of it. I like Sheryl. I think I brought that up with her before. I don't dislike her. I just kind of had my time with her. I really liked her before the whole Stevie Nicks thing, but way, way, way in her old days, Michael Jackson. And then she came to the forefront with Stevie, and it was really awesome. Soak Up the Sun, love that song when she first came out, everything. But yeah, as of late and afterwards, kind of like, okay. I've yet to see her solo, and I really wanted to for a while, but yeah. But saw her several times with Stevie, so that was kind of cool. Coming up next in 2019, also, I have this really unusual little, here's the hype sticker. Came with this really unusual called The Many Faces of Fleetwood Mac. I only got this recently, even though it's a 2019 release. Yeah, 2019. It's a very eclectic collection of work. There's a lot of Walter Egan featuring Chris and Lindsay. The Stevie Nicks, Bob Welch and Friends with Stevie Nicks and Mick Fleetwood is on here. There's a lot of Dave Mason stuff on here. It's very unusual. And then it's a 2-record set. And so they're all definitely elements of Fleetwood Mac, but just like I said, it's very weird. And then the second record, side C, is I think live stuff from 70s, 80s, and the flip side is like from the dance. It's not 100% clear. Here's the front, which reminds me of a Christopher Cross album. Pretty sure I'm right about that. It has kind of a steampunk aesthetic to it. A nice write-up on Fleetwood Mac. But, this is kind of a steampunk type of imagery. It's very pretty. It's very nicely put together, like I said. Some of that imagery on the back is still real lovely. I like the little timepieces and such. But then look, here are the songs that are on it. I want to say that this was another one that you ordered like through a magazine or something like that. I really don't remember. I don't. Let's call it a bootleg, but it's not really. I mean, it is and it's not. It's one of those ones where I don't know if they have all the licensing. I think that's what's so weird about the Mason stuff. Like maybe they got on board. All that's been cleared. But then the other stuff is kind of not. It is on really pretty vinyl. It's meant to look real marbled. This piece has a lot of blue tints in it. Little, really kind of hard to tell, but some real sky blue pieces. It's really pretty. And the sound is it's not terrible, but yeah, I just don't think it's anything. It just kind of came out of nowhere, kind of disappeared, and then, I did end up picking it up. Actually, I think it was gifted to me, or but anyway, whatever way. Pardon me. Pardon me. I wanted to have this because, like I said, it was just a really weird. It was a unique combo, a unique mix of items. So that was that. I apologize if this. I hope this doesn't happen because I tried to make this video 3 days ago, and the same thing was happening to my voice. And I hate coughing or doing anything with this microphone thing I got, which I only got because I was worried you guys couldn't hear me. Now you can freaking hear everything. Probably hear the fan going because it is murder hot today, which I did not move to the Pacific Northwest for heat. Yeah, and it's like getting on 10 p.m. I think, and it's still pretty hot here. But anyway, we're going to get the next two. Stevie Nicks' 24 karat gold tour. And this was, what year is this? 2020. Here's the blurb. The first one that I have that I believe was the first one to come out was the clear issue. See the fan blowing in the breeze. What I really like about these ones is that a couple of them, this one, it's gold foil in this one. Not all of them are like that. It's really pretty and shiny. And then you have the inside, which is just gorgeous with all these pictures and stuff. And I have to say, I think, who's I talking to about this? I think on this one here. I love the setup of the stage. I love these lights. Is anybody else with me on this? I love this lighting setup. One of my absolute favorites for a tour stage design. I really like that a lot. And this is all shiny foil in here as well. Gorgeous photo. And this says clear vinyl, and it is, but if you notice some of I had something else I just showed recently, the Crystal Visions. And that was definitely clear vinyl. This, I think, has a little hue of, now it could just be from the label, but I'm pretty positive it has a blue to a sort of purple tint to it. It's definitely clear. But even if you're still looking at this compared to the Crystal Visions, but it could be the reflection of the, it's almost impossible to tell because unless I took the sticker away, you still wouldn't know, but I'm pretty sure that it's definitely got a blue purple tint to it for being clear vinyl. On the other side, we have more photos, the band photos. Again, all this pretty gold foil working on the inside. Very, very nicely put together. And then last but not least, this really pretty picture of Stevie. So that was that one. So then the next one is, let's see here. Now this one is, maybe I'm wrong on one of them. This is the black vinyl. This one is sealed. so I can't open it for you. Maybe they all do have the gold. Maybe was it just, am I confused by my own videos? I was just showing the video where one of them had the gold foil stamping and the other did not. Could well be. Oh, was that Crystal Vision? Did I mention how hot it is? It's too hot. My brain is, it's been a week. So yeah, this one was black. So the clear and the black vinyl came out pretty consecutively. I don't remember which was first. It could have been the black vinyl, and then the clear came out because the clear was Barnes and Noble. So I think the black was first, and then the clear came out because it's a Barnes and Noble exclusive. So it's usually right on the heels. I mean, almost simultaneously. So probably, let's just say they came out at approximately the same time because it's pretty quickly. So yeah. So there's the black one, and then probably I opened the clear because I want to see the clear vinyl. Yeah. So there was that one. But then what was really cool is that there was a you know, like PBS does that. Like, if you remember the dance, PBS really, really promoted the dance. They had all sorts of drives where you could get get it on DVD, VHS, cassette, CD, pledged. I think you got something. And I think what you got I think the best thing you got was the poster. I can't remember too much. It seems like I did send away for something from there. To get a package deal to receive something, but I don't really remember what it was because it didn't seem like it was that great. Could have just been the poster, but there was a PBS drive in like Ohio or somewhere, you know, somewhere kind of sort of Midwest. I don't know, but not in Oregon. There's another state. And when you watch that one, and only that one, you were able to get a package deal where you got the vinyl, a poster, and the CD. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the CD, that's what it is. What I'm thinking of is I just did video on the CD of this, and the regular Target one, it does not have the gold foil. I think that might be where it's coming from. But anyway, I'm so sorry. But anyway, if you ordered from that, you got the CD, the vinyl, and a poster, and it was in gold vinyl. And that is the only place you can get it. And I'm really surprised at how many people just didn't get it. To me, this is rare as hen's teeth because I put it in Discogs. I don't see many people with it, but it's like one state that could order it. You could, you could order it if you were out of state, but then like I had to stay committed to them for like a year or something like that because like a year's worth of pledge or so sorry, or like $200, $300. And that is money I did not have. So I think I stayed committed to them. If you can believe it, my throat is acting up and I just spilled water on this record. Do I keep going or have a coronary? I just can't tell you why my voice is doing that. I just don't know. We're going to keep going so that I don't have a full meltdown. It 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 appears to be fine. There's a little mark right here. I can do this. Anyway, this is a gold vinyl. And what I really like about this is it looks like freaking liquid gold. It is just gorgeous. I just think that is one of the prettiest things because of the record. I mean, otherwise maybe it wouldn't look so pretty, but it just looks like poured gold in this record. And it just has a super rare, almost accidental, because when you tilt it a certain way, like it comes out like it's almost not supposed to. I had another one of these, but I sold it, so I didn't really compare the vinyl because I believe I sold it sealed. So I don't know if they all look like this, if it all just kind of goes out, because I find that it's odd. It goes down on that one side, a little bit up here as well. Again, I like it. Is it a printing error, or is it supposed to look like that? Because to me, it does look like poured gold, which I just think is so cool. What with the concept of the album, I guess it is the same on this side. But yeah, this is really one of my, again, when I've talked about all the records I've gone through, and I talk about some of my most obscure and valuable, not just like if you were to go collecting, but just valuable to me, my tops. This is also in the top 5 because of just the obscurity of it. I haven't seen too many other copies. There might be some on Discogs. I haven't checked in a while, and if there is, I would grab it. I would grab it right away, because you're just not going to find this. And even though I'm not sure what the other copies are going to be going for anytime soon, I guarantee you this one is definitely the rarest one. And she looks okay. I think I'll survive. That was lucky. Lord have mercy. That was a close call, because I was about to turn the video off and just like, yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for staying with me on that one. Moving right along. Another one which I haven't opened. So here we are. We have the Stevie Nicks 24 Karat Gold Tour in concert, 4 copies. Clear vinyl, black vinyl, gold vinyl, and then Walmart came out with a blue and white swirled one, which I would say would probably be the second rarest, because this came and went. I think of the 4, it's going to uphold the least, which is terrible saying, because I certainly have made no ill will remarks against Walmart, but again, not knowing where Walmart and or Target is being pressed exactly. But in general, when you think of the longevity and collectability, or if that's the right word, in the future of records, I don't think it's going to be in Walmart and Target records. It's still going to be about the artist, possibly the color, and this one might be one of those upper ones, though, just because, like I said, it did not stick around for long. They didn't seem to release a lot of them, and if you didn't get the gold one, it would have been the only other color. So had the gold one not come along, I would have said yes, definitely this would be probably worth a little bit more in the future, maybe, and the stranger, odder one out of the bunch. But definitely it's going to be that gold one. Because like I said, it was the PBS of, I have it all written down somewhere. It was long, and it's so funny. The person who signed me up with it, I was just going on and like, what can I do? Can I do this? I can't subscribe to the channel, and she was super nice. She's like, yeah, you can. You can do it online, because you can watch it and do all this stuff, on your phone or on your computer and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I really don't care. I just want the package. And then I was worried about paying it for like ever to get the record, because I could afford the cost of it, because it was not cheap. It was like $300. And it seems like it was maybe even a little bit more, because they had like one was the DVD and the poster, one was the vinyl, and I don't even know. But whatever it was going to take me a while, and they sent it immediately, which was so cool. So then, but they sent the record. I didn't get my poster. I didn't get the CD. So sometime later, I looked on my bank account, and like a long time, like a year had passed, and like they were taking like $20 out or something like that a month, and maybe a little bit longer. I'm like, oh shit, I'm still subscribed to this. So I paid well times over. So they sent me another copy, and they sent everything, which is why I was able to sell a copy of the record, which was really hard to do, but it's kind of a difficult time. So I had 2 of them, but now somebody else who I'm really grateful has one. But yeah, that was kind of a neat thing. So 4 copies total of this. Do yourself a favor if you can go on Discogs again if you're a collector and you're wanting more stuff. Try to find that on gold vinyl. If you're just kind of want to hear thing here or there, or you don't have a copy, maybe try and find the gold vinyl. But you do have 4 options to get that one. So I can't believe I spilled soda on that one. I can't believe that happened just now. Help me. All right, next we have 2021. We have the Elton John COVID sessions. I like to joke. They might as well be. It's a lockdown. Same difference, right? Who's going to get this? In like 20, 30 years, nobody's going to remember like we remember. It's going to be a whole different thing. It's going to be a joke. It already kind of is right now. The whole mask epidemic, literally. The epidemic and the whole mask thing. Yeah. This one had, this song is really cute, Stolen Car, which I think is really cute. And I'm really surprised. Elton John used to be one of my absolute favorite artists when I was growing up for male singers. And I just really don't like him anymore. I've always liked his voice, but he just doesn't seem very nice. And he always did seem really nice, like in the 70s and 80s. But what I'm really surprised about is this record really worked. He's with a lot of new acts, and he's with, some older ones as well. But, people that I know, Dua Lipa and Lil Nas and stuff like that, these songs really worked out nicely. And for bands that, they're fine, but just not my bag of tea, it really worked out. This is a really well put together album. I liked some of the old songs pulled into the new one. I really like this little one. It's kind of a little bit of a throwaway song, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying it's not like one that is way in the upper tier of our love of Stevie Nicks, catalogs, but it's super cute, and I think it's really neat that they got together and did something, especially having known each other for so many years. This one I did not open up, but there is a small picture of he and her on the inside that I showed on the CD copy. But as you know, I put my stuff on the cellophane back on after I take the records out, and I'm not going to skirt this one off to show that. Just a little picture. And the vinyl, oh yeah, vinyl is pretty color. I want to say that the other side is possibly pink. Let's see, because this is not the record with Stevie on it, I don't think. Nope, both blue. Yeah, this one. For some reason, I thought they were 2 different colors, but yeah. So this one I did seek out. This one was, because like I said, I do like Elton John, so I was really happy to get that. And I ended up getting the CD as well, and it's one that I enjoy playing in the car. Yeah. So that's the Elton John one. Next up, we have Lindsay. Now, I really went all out on this album, talking about it with the CDs. This came out also in 2021. Lindsey Buckingham. So everybody but Stevie, right, has had one that's their name. Kind of weird, huh? So Christine has had Christine McVie and Lindsay has had Lindsay. So this came when you pre-ordered it. It came with a signed insert. I have owed this copy to a wonderful woman forever that I just looked up on my phone, and I think I promised her this, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not really great about getting stuff out in the mail. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I owe it to somebody or they purchase it from me. I'm on it. But when I promise to get something out, it's like I want to put more together for people or something. I don't know. Leslie, if you're there, I'll get this. I got to get this damn thing out in the mail to you. If you happen to watch it, I apologize. Yeah, each one came because I think I got 2 copies. I got the regular copy, and then there is the blue vinyl. Or maybe I got one with the CD and one with the, because again, it seems like the blue vinyl came out a little bit later. I didn't even open it, which is really weird. But this is on Sky Blue. I can't believe I didn't open this. But I'll believe the color is going to be probably something like this, probably much like the Elton John one. This album is it's absolutely fun. It was a great tour as well. And again, I go a little bit more into it on the CDs. But it was there's nothing I dislike about this album. It's fun. It's happy. It's a good album. Regular one, just black vinyl. This one is probably still somewhat available. You could probably find one on eBay, not too terribly priced, with the insert, with the signed copy of the cover as well. What is nice too is that they're signed, they are numbered on the back. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. So following up with 2021, again, we have more kind of Lindsay related stuff. This is, I don't know who's a Halsey fan. I am. Found out about her on the internet. Found out about Badlands, and then I found out about her first little EP. I think it's like a 4 or 6 song record, which I can never remember the name of it. I want to say it's like, I always think it's, I could have looked, of course, because it's right over there, but I'm not going to get up and go check. Blue or black. I want to say it's like black. The title's black something, but the vinyl's blue. But Lindsey Buckingham joined her on a song called Darling. And not only is it beautiful on the record, it was freaking insanely epic on the SNL Saturday Night Live performance. It was something else. It was really an amazing performance. And I really do like Halsey, but it's funny. She seems to be an artist who kind of like, not quite every other record, but not all of her records consecutively do I like. But when this record came out, this record was amazing. It wasn't just because of Lindsay. Huge bonus. But I really, really enjoyed this record. And the addition of Lindsay was just, I really wish they'd worked together. And even though it's brilliant because she had 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, and Atticus Ross helping her with this record, it'd be really cool if Lindsay worked with her on a record as well, even with Trent and Atticus. It'd be cool to add Lindsay on board as well. And then it's really beautiful. This one was the Walmart exclusive. And I think I stopped. I think Target had a burgundy color or something else. They had an alternate cover where she's a little bit more naked, the breastfeeding thing on the cover. But I took this one because I was just madly in love with this antique gold, smoky. It just fits the album vibe. It's just gorgeous. So I didn't go out and get all the copies, which sometimes I will. A lot of people pick on me about going and getting all the stuff, and some of these later ones, if I will. I brought it up several times that if you get everything, what more do you have to look for, right? So I do what I can when things come out. I try and get the new releases, but I'm really behind on those already. But then like this one, if there's a Target copy, if there's a regular copy, eventually I will probably pick those up. Mostly because I like the album, but also for my Fleetwood Mac collection. But right now, if I just had this one and only had this one, I'm fine. Same with the Elton John. Same definitely with this. This is a perfect example. Pardon me. Love Baz Luhrmann. Have not seen this movie. Do not care for this song. It's cute. I'm not a big Elvis fan. I respect him now. Um, just kind of over time and stuff like that. I mean, I'm the kind of person where, like, even if I really dislike the music, I'm really proud and happy for the people who went with their creative desires and went forth and did that. I think I brought that up already in the video. And it's really, so Elvis is, obviously he's a legend. He's so popular and popular music. So I don't, of course, I love it. And he's got legions of fans, and he's a cultural phenomenon. And we're still talking about it today, making movies and such. So I think that's really neat, but just really never my cup of tea. And I like his voice. Um, the Suspicious Mind song, which is actually his first on here. I really kind of actually come to really like that song. It's on a compilation thing that I have. And I kind of like that one. I'm definitely not into the Christian soul, not even Christian, but just gospel music of Elvis. Totally appreciate his voice there, and I'm really not into the full rockabilly, very early Elvis. They're kind of maybe in between. I could probably go with a little bit more, but yeah. But this one has Stevie Nicks singing with Chris Isaac on Cotton Candy Land. Is that what it's called? Cotton Candy, Cotton Candy Land. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. Not picking on it. If you love it, I apologize. It's not one of my favorites. It's certainly not a go-to. This was one that I opened to see so that I could show you. I had not opened it, but I was kind of curious because the outer cover is really pretty, and I was actually kind of disappointed that there really wasn't anything inside. What was this very extravagant cover? Ooh, fancy. No. And there's just like a little boring thing of credits with like barely a picture of the actor that plays them. I did hear this was good. I loved Baz did a movie called Strictly Ballroom. I think that's him. Pretty sure. Obviously, Romeo and Juliet. And what's the big famous one? Moulin Rouge. But I saw Strictly Ballroom way long ago. And if you guys haven't seen that one, that movie is hilarious. So funny. And it was a real indie film. He's absolutely nobody. And it has a lot of charm and a lot of humor that you kind of have to, you know, it's subtle. Like a minute later, you're like kind of laughing because maybe you just kind of caught up with you or you realized where it was going. And I still like his movies now, but he's not the guy who made that movie a long time ago. And there's nothing wrong with that. Normally his name's on it and I would be the first at the theater to watch it. But this one I was just kind of not, I should get around to it maybe. But wrapping things up pretty quickly. We're just over 30 minutes. I apologize, but we're almost done. This was a really big surprise. 2023 with Gorillaz. Love this band. Love them. Don't have everything, don't know everything by them, but everything I do know and do have, I freaking love. This album actually maybe it wasn't my favorite of everything that I do have so far, but I really did like it. And I was shockingly surprised at how well Stevie worked out on a track with them. If you could ask me to pair Stevie Nicks with the most unlikely source, it would be somebody like Bjork or Gorillaz. I just wouldn't put Stevie Nicks with somebody like this band. It was really neat. And it was really cute when Stevie was talking about working with them because not a whole bunch was said. They mentioned it in a couple, interviews about how like awestruck they were that Stevie agreed to it. But Stevie kept saying that if they did a video or anything like that, or a single or anything to make her one of these little cartoon people's, and they never did. That kind of bummed me out that they didn't make a video or even just design one for her. Whoever did it. I know that's not cheap and it certainly can't be done for free, but it would have been really fun. Also featured on this album is Tame Impala, which I've mentioned. I also am a big fan of theirs. Bad Bunny. Already, where is he now? Beck. What I did find really interesting is I was reading the credits, which are all right here. That's it for credits. And normally, an artist is thanked or courtesy of. Stevie's not even mentioned here, which I thought was kind of strange. And this album is a beautiful hot pink. So a friend of mine was telling me this album has come out in multiple colors. And when it first happened, my friend was like, "Oh, Anita, I can't do it." I mean, again, maybe over time. Um, I'm a completist. I am that person where back in the day, I mean, when the stuff came out, but I think they're kind of going overboard with the multicolors. I want to say that there's an artist that I really like, and he had like 8 colored releases. 4 of them had different covers. That was kind of cool. But and I know it's to sell credits, and I respect that because it's really hard to sell music, even with vinyl. And but all the downloads and stuff like that, I get that it's really hard. But there's also like a what's the word I'm looking for? People are talking about your footprint, and stores aren't able to produce vinyl based on like other artists who have a record coming out because they're so backlogged with people like Gorillaz or this other artist, printing 8 copies of the same damn thing but in different colors. So it's kind of an unfair and an unfortunate thing, and it's also kind of obviously straight up money grab. I'm a record collector, so I like to have it all. And if it's Stevie Nicks or Lindsay or anything Fleetwood Mac, obviously, duh, I want every color. So it's not really fair of me to say, like, why wouldn't I pick up every color for this band? Well, mostly because I'm trying to do it with my main catalog of that specific artist. That is an album that I'm more likely to listen to over and over again. That is something I'm going to keep. That is something, that I buy for the whole album, not one song. That is somebody, an artist that I really, really want to support, so I don't mind being one of several people that buys 9 copies of the same thing, because 8 are on vinyl, 1 is on CD. It's okay. I want to support that artist. But, with no hate or shame on Gorillaz or Elvis soundtrack or anything like that, this is just one that I probably wouldn't go out of my way of, or Halsey even. If I found it as a good price, yeah, I'll pick it up in a different color. But right off the bat, not nearly as much as I was, just because there's so much. Not because of finances specifically, but just because it's almost too much. It's just getting to a point where it's just and even when my favorite singer does do it, like Stevie didn't do. Barnes and Noble and Target often have their own release, so that's to be expected. Stevie's company, management, whatever, came out with the black vinyl. They're licensed and it's approved okay for Barnes and Noble. So that was simple. Again, I'm really surprised that Target didn't have a copy. I'm surprised that, H&M didn't. Who's to say that someone will come out later? That PBS one, I don't know how they got in. I don't know how they got dibs and were able to make their own record in one specific color. I don't know how that happened, but again, I'm so glad that I have it. But yeah, but getting, if this is in like 8 different colors, it's like, yeah, I want them all. Don't misunderstand, but it's like I really need 7 more copies of this for the song Oil. Just throwing that out there. But on that note, the last thing that I have that is the most current, which is really an honor to have gotten these. These were my last year's Christmas present from my best friend. And she got me the Philly Christmas special. These were not cheap. This was kind of ridiculous. They amazingly donate. This is put together by, I forget, some football player. His Jason Kels, but his brother's one dating Taylor Swift right now. I don't know, something like that. But it's a Philly special Christmas. They've released a record for a couple of years now, every Christmas, and all the proceeds go to a children's hospital, and it's an amazing charity, and it's wicked awesome. I mean, I think it's great. But I want to say the record itself was like $75, 75 or not. I mean, just really 50 or more. It's over 50. I'm sure of that. And that's a big price. Now you're making a donation, which is great, and it's Christmas time, and all that is fine. But as soon as I saw the price, I'm like, I'm out. I can't do this. And my girlfriend knows that I'm really into this stuff. I really wanted this one, and oddly enough, I really like this song. I'm not a Christmas music person, but this song is really cute, really really cute. I love Stevie's vocals. She looked great. She looked like she was having a good time. It was really sweet. And the little poster that came with it, much unlike Gorilla's doing her a solid, I believe that they did do Stevie in the kind of Peanuts, what do you call it, caricature. Yeah, which is really cute. So this is a little poster that came with it, and that's supposed to be Stevie. So then, not only was this cool enough, but after you purchase this, initially what they had done is they had made a special offer where if you buy, this is on white vinyl, they were going to release another version on black vinyl, super limited. And if you bought it, you were put in for a drawing or a likelihood to win signed lyrics of this Christmas song by Stevie, handwritten signed lyrics. Well, of course, who wouldn't? I went completely bananas, and I'm like, well, crap. Now I really want to get. But you had to buy this one, and then you had to buy the other one to get in on that because they only made the offer to people who bought this first one. So if you didn't buy the first one, you're not going to get the offer to buy the second one, which entered you into the contest. So again, my girlfriend, being the amazing person that she is, knew that I was like, wanted the chance, the opportunity, and of course I would want the black vinyl as well. She went and actually got that for me as well. So this one I left sealed, but this is the black vinyl. Everything is the same. That's why I didn't even bother opening it. But no sooner did she purchase it, and they withdrew that offer and opted to donate the signed lyrics to the hospital, the children's hospital that all the proceeds went to. I think that's great. I think that's somewhere will be seen by everybody. It's uplifting. It's beautiful. But I felt a little ripped off, a little bit. And I'm not even the one who bought the stuff. But we're completely all enticed with that, and I'm confident when Stevie Nicks is involved. I know I'm preaching to the choir here. When Stevie Nicks is involved, more people gravitate towards things. And like I said, having that offer put up there and then taken off was a little disconcerting. I kind of wish Stevie had done something else, signed something else, and left it for still a drawing, which I probably would have made more deals for them, more sales for them still, and still done a beautiful thing for the hospital. But just completely wiping the slate of being able to get anything more other than just paying more money for a different copy in another color. And this was even more than the first one was um, I kind of thought that wasn't cool at all. Just my 2 cents worth, you know. Let me know if anybody did this as well. If you got them, did you get them because you thought that you'd be entered in that contest? Which doesn't detract from anybody being a nice person to buy both. So I'm not looking to, have anybody say, well, yeah, but I did because if that's why you did it, that's great. That's why my friend did it. She's that kind of person. But she also knew that any chance at winning something like that would have been pretty amazing. So, yeah, but I'm just kind of curious. But that was the most current thing that I have. Actually, I have Dolly Parton's box set that has her and Dolly singing. Has anyone, no, what has rock and roll ever done for you? But I'm going to include that in my box set video. But per vinyl, this is the most current thing. These came out in December of last year, 2024. This video's in July of 2025. So that is part 24, and that wraps up all my vinyl thus far, not including stupid stuff I forgot, which there's a handful, and my box sets and some pre-Buckingham Nick stuff that I did not show. So thank you again. So sorry for the coughing. Again, I don't know what is going on with my voice. Thank you for sticking with me for the small meltdown. We'll just let that one slide by. Please, no judgment. If anything, empathize and cry with me that there was potential for damage. That just would have broken my heart. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.